Well, hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So, yesterday we went ahead and did all the difficult stuff with setting up the budget planner. That would, let's see here, just to give you a quick glimpse, just in case if you didn't see that video. But that was basically the whole goals section. So, I've already went ahead, stated what my short-term and long-term goals are for budgeting. I completed my, I guess like a finance vision board, which was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a lot of work, but there was a lot of fun that went into this. So, yeah, this is really why I'm budgeting and what's going to motivate me and what's going to inspire me. So again, if you've missed this video, check it out. It's under my budgeting goals. Okay, and then I went ahead and just decided that I'm going to keep the savings jar separate. So I'm going to list my daily goal, which is $5 a day. So like for example, January would be $155. So I would put the $155 there. And then whatever I saved and put towards my emergency fund would go there. And then I'm just going to add both of them together just so I can see how much I am actually saving as a whole per month. So I think that's going to be really cool to get to see. And like I said, normally I would do like a little coin jar, which, well, let me see if I can find one of those. Because they are pretty cool. And, I mean, if you're interested in doing that instead, I do have little coin stickers. They're a free printout. They're on my website. So, like, this was one of my first savings goals. So, this is what I did with my jar. So, I mean, I pretty much just made it to, like, I had a $50 goal. So, I would do, like, the dime was 10 cents, so it became $10. So, I would have 10, 10, 5 and a 25, and then I just kind of like built my coins up. This is a little tedious, but I'm gonna have to say I love how it looks. So I do have a free printable on my website if you're interested in doing something like this. For this year though, I think I'm just going with the totals. I want to see what I have. So I'm just saying, hey, throwing that out there. Let's see here. I'm going to put that off to the side. Okay, so again, we continued on with our goals. So I picked my first month's goals, the first quarter's goals, the first 6 months goals, and then the entire year. And that's going to give me a snapshot of what my savings should look like as they're projected to be throughout the year, which, I mean, hey, if I could keep up with this, this is looking fantastic. And all right, so then we moved on to the vision map, which okay, since I've already did like a vision board, I thought that it would be cool to make like a little roadmap of my goals. And again, like this is shooting out for 10 years, and I'm liking it. Like I dig this. This is pretty cool. So I think like as I go through them, I'm just gonna like check them off because it's kind of nice to look to see like where you're heading. Okay, so the next thing that I did move towards was the bill schedule. And again, anything that you've seen thus far has come from this budget companion pack, which at first I wasn't going to get. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it. It was on sale anyway. So I was like, yeah, you know, it's last year's edition, so heck yeah. So I gave it a go, and I'm just saying, like, there's a lot in here that you normally wouldn't add to budgeting, but I'm liking how it's making me feel towards my budget. So this is definitely very different. So yeah, I have this bill schedule, and well, I want to complete it because I'm assuming you would just write down like you have a bill due this day. Yeah, I got like 5 or 6 bills due, like almost every day of the month. So, tiny calendar, not really doing it. What I think I am gonna do is, like, I know that I have $550 coming out on the first. So what I'm gonna do is a bill schedule is I'm gonna like average how much my bills are projected to be for each day, and I'm gonna write that down. then that way I can quick look at this and say, oh, dude, hold on, you know, you're going to need $500 on this day, or you're going to need $100 on this one. So I think that's the better route for me, because I really don't see me being able to, like, on this one alone, that's like 5 bills. Which, as you can see, whenever we go to the actual month, I spread them out. Because it's ridiculous. But, yeah, no, the Budget Companion Pack gives you a year's worth of these, which I'm sure if you have, like, normal bills, this would be fine. And, okay, so we move on to the account name, and, well, yeah, you move on to your debt repayment page, which I am attacking one of my Capital One cards. I still have yet to complete this. I really probably should do this, because I don't really know any of this offhand, and I do like to wait until the very first of the month to get the beginning balance, just in case if they add interest or anything overnight. So yeah, I really do want to make sure that I have all of that correct. So that will be getting completed tonight. And I'm not sure if I want to write all of my accounts down and like watch how I proceed during the year with them, or if I just want to go one at a time. I guess I should like write my main ones down, because I don't think I have enough for all of them. But but I think what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and write all of them down. Then that way I can track and see like how I progressed with them. I don't know, maybe it's going to show me like how interest builds up and why I need to pay them off faster. So maybe that's how I'm going to work with this. Alright, and then of course my savings for, which I think it gives you 4. Yeah, you get 4 of the goals. So that would go back to here, saving for. So I have my emergencies, my gifts, my holidays, and recreation. And yeah, you get to make your little goals. So I still gotta complete that, which and yeah, so then you have your no spends for each month too. So I think this is gonna be really cool to track and see like what days I do spend, what days I don't. Like, is there a habit? You know, like are we finding out certain times during the month where I'm like a spendaholic, or you know, maybe I'm a hermit and I don't spend at all. Who knows? So this little calendar is going to be the one that tells me. And yeah, and then at the end of the year, you get a yearly review. So I'm kind of digging that. I'm liking this. I love the bright and colorfulness of it. Super gorgeous. And it's fun. And yeah, this is what I was talking about in the last one, which, I absolutely love this idea. This was from, let me see if I can find my note pages here, because I would like to give her credit. Ooh. I want to say it was at Plan Her Way. I am not finding my note page. I know her name was Ari, because I remember seeing it. She used black letters. I chose the little pastel ones just because they do match this rainbow. Yeah, no, I just thought that her idea was absolutely super cute, and I love it. So I want to say this was at Plan Her Way. And, okay, so now we're actually moving into January's budget. So I went ahead, started completing some of this. I took my financial goals that were, if you remember, so many pages. So, this page right here. So I went ahead and took this, and we now have those on here, and they're super cute, and we're starting to use stickies. Yay! So, yeah, again, I'm just going to be doing my save $5 a day. That's going to give me $155. My mission is to pay off that Capital One card, and I already have February's rent taken care of because I have it in my December bonus. And I know what some of you are thinking. You're like, if you have money in savings and you have like extra funds from bonuses, why are you not paying off your debts with those? Okay, I've done that. I've done that. I've tried that because, you think you're like, oh man, I got a large amount of money, so I'm going to put it on my debt because, interest is accruing in that. What happens is you rely on that and you don't really learn not to get yourself back into debt. So yeah, you get out of debt for like a month or two and then you're like, oh man, I want that. And of course you don't have funds because you didn't learn to save, and you get yourself right back into it, if not worse. So what I've learned is you always have that initial emergency saving fund. So that is set. That's there because bad things do happen. And then that way, whenever bad things do happen, I have that money and I don't need a credit card. The other reason being is I've noticed that if I take care of my rent, one, I'm not freaking out because I don't have to worry about not being able to pay rent. And two, it gives me my entire paycheck to learn how to budget. So I'm not like scraping pennies. I have breathing room. So yeah, that's why. So see, priorities over conveniences. So yeah, it would be convenient for me to knock off 2 or 3 of my accounts, which would give me more breathing room during the month. But I choose to keep that money and I pay my rent ahead of time so that, because I mean, it's not really convenient. It's not. But I want a home to live in. So, yeah, my house is my number one priority. So that gets paid, like, ahead of time. Like I said, like, we're going into January, and I'm like, yep, February's done. So, yeah. And, of course, we have New Year's Day on the first one. So, what I did with my monthly layout here, which I don't know what this is. It came with the planner. Maybe that's why it was on sale. I don't know. I'm getting over it though. So maybe that's like a marked lucky day. So I basically just used some like old calendar stickers, and I kind of chopped up the 20s and the 21s from the dates and just made a year. And yeah, so I mean, I'm using some of my older stickers. I wanted this to be bright and colorful so that it's not like eh. And I decided to add in these fun holidays too because, I mean, well, the hug day, I mean, I'm going to be hugging Bert, so I mean, that's free. But like the handwriting day, maybe I could look for like Tombow pens that are on sale, practice my hand lettering. So yeah, I wanted to throw in those, of course, MLK Day. And like then that way, if there's any expenses that are going to be involved in those, I know ahead of time that they're coming up. And I know National Sticker Day is on here. I want to say that's 21st too. Don't quote me on it though. I'm not 100% sure. And so yeah, like I know that those things are going to be coming up. And the other thing is I did color code these. So anything that has to do with the actual home, so that would be like rent, heating, water. I do include the phones and like the internet and electric. I kept those as pink. Now granted, Boost is an auto pay, so I wanted to mark that. That's the first time I've ever started using the auto pay stickers, and like in one way I kind of knew that it was, but this way I just want to make sure that I know like you need that in there because it's already coming out. I left all my credit debts. Those are in the blue. Okay, what else do I got on here? Okay, the yellow are my insurances. So, of course, I have my health, my car, and pet insurance. And these green ones, which normally I had these listed as debts, they were blue. But these green ones I'm keeping separate because these are the accounts that I've already paid off. And that's the account that I'm on track for. So, I made a plan up here. So yeah, I'm going to be checking them off twice, but this is why. This is the account that I have being attacked. So normally I would only have a minimum of 25 on it. Now Affirm I've had paid off, which it was 50 a month. So I'm going to take that 50 and I'm going to put it onto the Capital One. Then with the Macy's and the Big Lots, same thing for them. That was their minimums. And since they're already paid off, I'm taking those payments and I'm doing the snowball method of adding it on to that Capital One account. And so you can see like there's a big difference because it would have only been 25. Now I'm having what, like 105, 65 and 50. So that's an additional onto the 125. So that's how I'm getting those accounts taken down so quickly. And I mean, you're really spending what you've been spending. There is no difference. So you're just really paying the same amount every month, but you're knocking down them goals faster than you normally would if you would just stay at the minimum pace. So yeah, I know you want that extra money, you want to spend it, you want to enjoy it, but hey, trust me, it's a lot more enjoyable when you're like, heck yeah, got another one of those things down. Okay, so the next thing that I do is I always add a monthly checker on here. So this is going to be my $5 a day. I just check it off just to keep track. And I've caught word that there should be a second stimulus payment. Not quite sure if I qualify for it. But if that comes in, I'm going to mark that down here. And I'm going to figure out how I'm going to divvy that up because it is extra funds. And if I receive any overtime, again, that goes on here as well. Because it's not considered my regular pay. I always put it in a separate savings account. Just because, you know, when you're budgeting on what you're expecting to have, not the extra. So that's what I do for a monthly check. Now, as you can see, I have all the bills on here already. What I'm going to save this page for, which is like your actual like bill check off list, as I'm paying those bills off, I'm going to write them down. So like the first one, of course, is going to be rent. It's already paid, so I do need to actually add it on here. So I would just mark down that on the first, I add rent paid. It's a home category. I'd mark down the amount and I would check it off. What I used to do is I used to list all of them beforehand and then check them. And I don't know what it is, but I'm like a weirdo of where I like things to be in order. And if one of them would be on a date earlier than one underneath it, I don't know. It freaked me out. So I think I'm just going I'm just going to keep this separate. So we're just going to fill this out as we go. Same thing with my savings. I decided that since I am doing $5 a day, I'm just going to wait until a week. And I'm just going to write at the end of the week, like I added X amount, and that's what my balance is now. The accounts and debts, I'm just going to use this to focus on the account that I'm attacking, first off, because I do make those payments separately throughout the month. They're not one chunk. That's the other way that I motivate myself to do it, because you're not seeing all that money go at once. You're like, oh, there's 25 here, and oh, there's 30 there, and oh, there's 35 there. It's a lot easier to pay it. Just like it's a lot easier to save $5 a day instead of taking out 35 at a chunk. So it seems like the smaller I do, the bigger the outcome I have. So that's what works for me. So yeah, that's what I'm doing down here. And then if there is a reason why I need to charge something to an account, which hopefully I don't, but you never know, I'm going to have this halved and I'm going to add that down there and explain why. What was it that caused that? So that I can make sure in the future that I could set myself up to where I don't need to do that. Because I do not want to add any more to those debts. And of course, yeah, we are going to take on this challenge. I think this would be really fun. I just definitely have to pick that freaking weight, because, you know, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, how are you supposed to eat when you're at work? Like, I don't know. So yeah, I gotta definitely plan for that. I gotta pick a week and we're just shooting for it. And these are also the other things that I really, really liked. I like how they do this, but there is something that I don't like about it, but that's why I got this little guy. So, I'm sorry guys, need to catch my breath. So, yeah, they have the weekly expenses sheets, and they actually do give you enough for all the weeks of the month, which is cool. So, yeah, I'm gonna basically just keep track of what I did here. And, okay, so, like, these whole category description things, they ain't vibing with me. So, let's see here if I can find my stuff. What I plan on doing is I always have a strip of white label paper that's about the size of text. And I'm just basically going to cover those up like so. And then that way I can write over them. Because, you know, like, I don't know, like, my first purchase is probably not going to be groceries. I don't know. Yeah, so I want my stuff to be labeled the way that I label it. So that's how I'm going to be taking care of that. Now, what I've been doing here, trying to think of how to explain this to you, is, well, let me get it. Okay, so I've been using this guide to get myself prepped and ready to figure out like what works, what doesn't work. I've been starting since November 1st with this. This is the Heroes Journal, by the way. Super cute and fun. And yeah, so basically what I do is I always keep track of my starting balance. I mark down what I put in my savings, and then any expenses or additions that I've had for the day. And this has really, I swear this has been like the game changer, because I wake up, I know exactly what's in my account, and I go to bed knowing what's exactly in my account. And yeah, like, because you know there's always that 2-day lag that's in your bank account. So, like, I got this to start with. And yes, I use dollar bills as my bookmarks. Um, I don't know what this book has done to me, but it has done wonders. So I wanted to keep the magic of this book. Like, as you can see, like, it's just been like, oh, it's been game changing. So it walks you through the whole process. So I love it. So I wanted to keep this. And it's like, okay, how can I do that with Happy Planner? So I found this little guy, and I mean, he's adorable. And I love how little it is, so I can keep this in my personette, which, I mean, I think it's just going to stay on my table, and we all know how I am. I'm too afraid to take it out in the elements. But the very first thing that I did is I started keeping track of the accounts that I paid off, because I want to see all of them. So these are the ones that I had paid off in October, which was super easy to do. They were low amounts, but it was like, okay, we're getting these done. And of course, then I moved on to my next account, and then that's the one that we're on right now. And yeah, I just took some extra grid paper that I had, and I just resized it. So super easy to make there. So that's my payoff countdown up there. And so I just took information that was in this, moved it to the little mini thing. And this is a skinny mini, by the way, so he's like really tiny. For the upcoming bills and expenses, again, like, I got a lot of bills, alright? So I decided that it was the bills that aren't normal for each month. So I'm going to keep track of those up here, and then I'm going to focus for the following month as well. And I'm just going to do like a quick budget review in here as well. But, well, here, might as well explain this too. Promise you guys, I'm getting back to that Heroes Journal. Yeah, I just decided that just to give you guys a glimpse too of how this is going to be used. Like for January, I knew I was going to need a New Year's meal. I am keeping up with my daily goal, my emergency fund, so I kept that in a save for. And I do need to have these things paid. So again, these are like the weird things, like the things that don't happen every month. I wanted to keep track of them there. For this, again, because it's so tiny, I'm like, what the heck can I use this for? So this right here, I'm going to use to keep track of my savings total. Because, like, yeah, this helped me know what was going on in my bank account and how much I actually had. But I think this was the driving force. So I almost want to say this was my motivation here, because I knew that these bills needed paid, and it motivated me to not spend on things I didn't need so that I could pay my bills. Where this was the inspiration, because I couldn't believe how quickly it added up. So it kind of drew me towards it. Like, I wanted to put monies into it. But it was like, no, 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 only $5 a day. So it was weird. Like, I wanted to save, which is normally I don't. That's how I got into this mess. So I think I'm just going to save this, and just that way I can mark down, like, what it is that I had in there. And then if I do need to use any of the funds, because I do technically use this as, like, my fun money. So, like, just recently I wanted to gift people at work for Christmas. So I did use my savings total, which, God knows what I would have had at this point in time. I think it was $225, so I would have been around $300 now. And yeah, it would have been about $300, because it's been 2 months, which is insanely ridiculous to me, because I never actually thought that it was that easy to save money. But who knows? So yeah, I'm going to keep track of that. So this is going to be my daily savings goal on these pages. And I'm sorry this is taking so long. It's just, I don't know, I'm like really excited over it. And okay, so then you get into your actual like weekly views here. And I'm literally just taking what information I put on these, and I'm transferring it over. So just to give you a snapshot here, like we'll go back to Wednesday. I started with the 37, and yes, I do take my accounts down, like pretty far. I try to get it down to like the last cent. I'm trying to use anything I have, so I'm making my money work for me. And as you can see, the very first thing that I do is I put that $5 into my savings. If I do end up using cash, I do mark it down, but it is with a plus and minus, just for the fact that this is my debit account, so this is my checking account. But I do want to record that I have spent that money, so I know how much I'm spending in each of those categories per month. It's just I can't have it deducted out of my checkings account because it wasn't from my checkings account. If that helps with any of your budgeting, because I know for the first year that's what was messing me up. Is I would mark down that, yeah, you spent $9 at the grocery store, and then I would go to like do my bank, and it's like, what the heck? Like, this isn't adding up, and I thought that I had magical money. I didn't have magical money. I just wasn't documenting it correctly. So, yeah. And, of course, like, I'm using my Starbucks rewards, so that's a plus and minus. But, hey, I know I would have spent it. I would have spent that money, but I had rewards. And, yeah, anytime I do a transfer, because I wasn't expecting to get paid until Friday, but again, since it's a holiday, we got paid a day early, so I do have to correct that. But, yeah, I transferred that to cover these two things, and, now I gotta move the money back, because I've already had it. And, yeah, I do keep my regular pay and my OT pay separate, so this would be one of those things of where it's like, all right, dude, you got that 131, but we weren't really budgeting for that 131, so that goes into a separate savings account. Again, that goes into that emergency account to where, like, if I find out that it's a little tight on bills, I can pull from that account and the budget isn't shot. Everything is fine. Everything's okay. And basically, like, I take what I started with, I do the simple math, and then that number, that ending balance here, which I guess this is the only thing I like from coming out of this, is I only have to write it once. Because whatever my ending balance is, I just put it on to the next day, and then that way I can use it as my starting balance, and we just start again. And the other thing is, if you noticed, I'm only giving myself limited space here. And this also helps, at least for me personally, it helps me know, like, I already spent enough today. I only have one more space because I'm going to have to write ending balance. And I mean, if you see how small this is, I only have room for one more thing. So I can literally only make one purchase today. So I better make it count. I know, right? So yeah, that's the other thing that helps. Yeah, so that's like really what I'm doing with this. So I know I'm gonna have the weekly expenses. So basically, like, I'm probably gonna track it all in here first, and then I'm gonna maybe write out all my categories. I don't know. I don't really know because I don't think I'm gonna have enough lines. Because I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 16 already just for those days. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah. Okay, so writing them down one by one, it ain't going to do it. Like, I know how I spend. It's not going to happen. So I'm probably going to have to track it in here first, and then categorize it, and then list it on here separately. So I don't know. So I think that's how I'm working with this. I know I spend a lot. It's why I budget. But yeah, I'm basically just gonna keep doing the same thing with this little guy here, which I love. I think he's so super cute, and it takes care of that issue because I know this. I need this. I need to do this to know what I have because I've tried doing this on its own, and it just turns into a jumbled mess because I'm like, yeah, that's great. I spent like $50 eating out. That's wonderful. I mean, that tells me not to eat out, but is there a way that I can have that like 1 or 2 times during the month where I can eat out and it doesn't affect anything? And that's where this comes in handy because there are. So, yeah, this gives you a spectrum of your spending where this is kind of like an ultimatum, at least for me. So, yeah, that's how I'm going to be using them little guys. And I wanted to make sure that I had something written in there so that you could kind of see like how I'm using that. Okay, so the only other difference, because these are all your weeklies, would be this final page, and I'm going to use this as my monthly review. So again, like, I'm going to use this as the monthly review of how did I handle these odd bills and expenses that I wasn't expecting. And with this, I'm going to do like a full monthly review. Like, how did I do with my bills? How did I do with my savings? Was there something that I really kicked butt in? Is there something that I really need to be like, hey dude, you need to look at this? So yeah, this is going to be saved for my monthly review, and I can't wait to share with you. And then we're just going to pop into the next month, right? And yeah, I had to create a little list here because I wanted to make sure that I knew what mild liners I needed for whenever I make my next budget monthly map. So there we go. That way you can get a quick glimpse again. I know it's kind of basic, which is why I kind of dress it up with the mild liners, but this seems to be the best strategy that I have. I know everyone wants to use the cute and fun stickers. I pretty much save those stickers for my actual planner layout just because, like, dude, guys, I got a lot. So maybe if I only had 1 or 2 cards, maybe it would be fun. But yeah, the whole sticker thing just doesn't work for me. And like I said, once I get this taken care of, maybe I will go to the stickers. But for right now, just simple pen and mild liner gives me a budget layout. So, I'm just gonna go ahead. We're gonna close out now, and I'm just gonna say thank you so much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. And if you would like to see more, please remember to hit the like and subscribe button to see my future plan with me's and how my budget for 2021 progresses.